No, I'm not sure.
And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 256. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we have no topics for the show. We're just going to have a cool, calm conversation between two hot, rich, sexy, tall, and handsome dudes. Because I know you guys all love.
Are they coming soon? Are they going to be here any minute? Like, are they coming in from behind that door?
Because I know you guys love the guy bro conversations that we always have here. Whether I'm talking to Professor Savage Dad or Lunchbox Warren or Great Poupe, or whenever I talk to Bob Loves Movies, whenever he shows up for the shows that are on Monday. Oh, just to let you guys know, so me and Professor Savage Dad usually had our show on Wednesdays around 7 p.m. PST. Moving forward, that has to change basically after this week, because this week, as you guys know, on Thursdays, I have the Cloud9 podcast with me and Mr. Blanks, and we talk about competitive LoL esports and NBA now and NFL. This week, he was out of town. He's on vacation until Sunday. So this was a awesome day to have me and Professor Savage Dad knock out our show on this day. But this won't be the day moving forward, and neither will Wednesday. We're probably going to end up having to move it to like Saturday or Sunday for the weekends, you know? So something like that. Because Monday, I'm already busy with the Monday show. Tuesday, I have Labs Comic Fan. Unless you want to do a Tuesday, which would be like after I have Labs Comic Fan on. But when the season for League is going, when it comes up for like Europe, I don't know if that can happen. Wednesday we can't do, because you said you can't do Wednesdays anymore. And Thursdays you can't, well, I can't do because I have the other show that always running Thursdays. Friday, yes. I have Lunchbox Warren. Friday, you're on Rogues Gallery. So that only leaves Saturdays and Sundays. And moving forward, when it comes to the season for League going on, we're probably going to end up using Saturday for the second episode of the Cloud9 podcast. So I probably only leave Sundays. So probably do it Sunday, like around, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. around that time.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy,
we'll
everyone?
have to see. I'm getting fucking full up on streams. God damn, man.
What happened? You're just a popular guy at this point.
I wish. I don't know. People like talking to me, I guess. I've got to make sure I'm making time to do stuff that I want to do, because like my son was asking me the other day, like, when are you going to do another long boxing? I'm like, oh, fucking. I try to do a show, and then like everybody's like, hey, come do my show right now. All right, well, I mean, in all honesty, doing even 2 a week is a little much for me, but I'm probably going to need to take some breaks here in a little bit from shows occasionally. Just because I don't, time will be restrictive, and it's summertime, and I've got to get out and do stuff with the kids.
You have to.
My Fridays,
you have to hang out with your kids. I never had a dad. They're fine. Literally, I don't know if you understand this as a married person. I grew up without a dad, and my mom, I don't know what the hell she was doing. Honestly, she would like do stuff. She never did drugs or drink or anything, but we pretty much just kind of, I wouldn't say raised ourselves, but we had an interesting life. Let's just say that. I had my TV shows, my movies. I went outside basically after the Saturday morning cartoons, and your mom
let you outside.
Mom said basically don't come back in till the fucking sun goes down. Well, most of the time that happened, your kids will be fine. What is going on with kids these days? They have so many dads in their lives now. That's not true at all. Actually, there's in the Black community specifically, there's actually not enough dads around at all. So that is pretty much, ruined an entire generation of, Black.
Very unfortunate.
Growing up, both male and female.
Single motherhood is not a way that you're going to statistically. Boys don't grow to be successful men underneath that kind of scenario. It just doesn't work out. That is a statistics thing. You can show me all the anecdotal evidence you want all fucking day long. I'm not going to care. It's statistically not the way that shit turns out. It just doesn't work. So don't care. Just
Also,
but yeah,
something ended up happening for Rumble. So as you guys know, I do like what Rumble is doing. Because Rumble is basically a video and streaming platform to the point where someone's YouTube channel just got nuked without any like warning or reason why. You could essentially go and create content on Rumble. But the problem with Rumble is I always feel like they're prioritizing the wrong thing constantly, specifically when it comes to this whole Rumble Studio thing. Like, so to basically get inside of their Rumble creator program, you have to stream through Rumble Studio, which already is a red flag for me personally, because I don't want to use Rumble Studio, even if it's free. I already pay for StreamYard. StreamYard works perfectly fine. There's people out there that use Restream, Streamlab OBS.
StreamYard's getting expensive though, dude. That's gonna be a thing. People are gonna you are gonna probably wind up moving away from it, I bet, dude, just because of how fucking expensive it's getting. So
and then
it's doubling in price, like, and it's much of a fucking show as it is half the time. Fuck StreamYard.
Also, with Rumble now, as a part of, you have to use Rumble Studio to be a part of their creator program. It's not about the hours of time invested to get inside of it. I don't care about that. I'm streaming basically 7 days a week anyway, so I could make that time anyway. That's not the problem. The other problem that comes with it is that also to qualify to be in the program, you have to pay for Rumble Premium, which is basically like YouTube Premium. You just won't be getting served ads when you watch content on there. Like for me, I would have did it if you basically didn't have to require me using Rumble Studio. If I didn't have to use Rumble Studio, I do it. I would sacrifice the $8 a month to use Rumble Premium because I know I could make up the hours in it anyway. But the combination of you have to pay for Rumble Premium, you have to use Rumble Studio, which is free. That's just not going to be worth my time. Also, they just made another change this week where you have to have 20 unique chatters in your stream throughout the month. Actually, 20 unique chatters. Like, that's actually more than Twitch. Twitch only requires you to have 3 viewers, and they don't even have to chat at all. Twitch's minimum requirement is 3 viewers. I think Kick is like 5. Rumble's requiring 20 unique chatters to actually keep creators in their creator program. It's like, that's ridiculous. That is actually stupid.
I mean, again, it's cool that I got into it, but I don't think I'm going to stay in it, and I'm not worried about the fact that I'm not going to make really any money off of it either. It's just, whatever. I don't think a lot of people who are on Rumble are here to make money. There are some, but I think Rumble is actually kind of like the old days of YouTube, where it's literally just people making videos to make fucking videos. Like, they find it fun, they're entertained by it. Maybe their friends do it, they know people who do it. I mean, it's like me. I just, friends with people who do this kind of thing, but I was doing it before many of them were, actually, for shits and giggles, just on Rumble. But it's like
it feels like they're always making the wrong decision. That's what it feels
like.
Well,
yeah, they're chasing whatever's kind of in front of them at the time. Like, now they got the creator program.
Yeah,
it's unfortunately tied to Rumble Studio, which they're not fixing. Like, I'm sorry, but Rumble Studio isn't fixed until you get rid of that 9:16 aspect ratio. It looks like shit.
They just included a direct RTMP where you could basically set up a stream, multiple of them in advance. So people don't actually know how this works. So on StreamYard, Restream, or Riverside, you could essentially set up streams throughout the week. That way people know when you're going to have them. That way they could turn on notifications and all that stuff, right? On Rumble Studio, you can't do that. You can make a stream, but you can't make more than one of said stream to promote them, or if you want to share them on social media, or if you want to let people know that, hey, I'm going to have this stream coming up on your Rumble page. Then you can't even, so a layout, the reason why I like StreamYard is because we have a layout like this, and I think this looks perfect for podcasting. Rumble's layout isn't like that. Rumble's layout is I'm up here, you're right here. If we had 4 people, then they'd be over there. The layout looks ugly.
This is okay for live streaming. If we were shooting, actually filming a podcast, wouldn't want any of the border shit. I would just do what Rogan does because you'd want everybody in the room talking.
Right.
You want to have people in a room. Like live streaming is such a different animal than podcasting. And some people are into it. Some people do watch things this way, but this is like the barest of minimumist of ways to do a stream. Obviously there's big streamers out there that do very well doing this thing. And it's not bad. But if you really want like a podcast, like, you got to put a studio together or some kind of space and just record it with people in the room. Personally, I would rather do that than even live stream. If I just could, if I had a studio space to do that, that'd be way the fuck cooler. Because I'd rather just sit down in a room with somebody like Rogan does. He gets to sit there and they fucking have a whiskey or a beer, or fucking smoke a blunt or whatever, and have a conversation. That's more engaging, I think, to see them kind of just interacting live with one another. And it's not to take away from this. This works, and people do like it. And, it's fine. It's what I can do. It's what you can do. It's something that we can do, and, we have a good time doing it. But, like, that's, like, the peak way, man. If you're going to do it, that's the way to do it.
Because keep in mind, if we were in front of each other, how would you, like, not want to, come and have sex with me? Because I'm such an attractive figure to you, actually.
I don't know about that.
But no, so like, all joking aside, I don't know. They're just putting way too many resources into like programs that I think don't make any sense right now. Like this much investment at Rumble Studio right now should be like number 10 on a list of things that they need to do to be independent. Like they just started bringing up the fact that they're working on an algorithm to curate people to go and find other content creators on their platform, because there is an audience there. I do have viewership there. There is an audience there, but their algorithm is so unbelievably non-existent and bad. They can't find you. If like after they watch like Tim Pool or Steven Crowder, they're just gone. And maybe there are some of those people on there that want to go and watch someone else that's live or watch some other content out there. Well, you can't find them because their algorithm just isn't as advanced as YouTube. Understandable, because YouTube came out way, way before. But an algorithm to curate people to find other people's content should have been that should be priority number 1 over anything else, because that's how you would grow naturally over time. Is you have an algorithm and you just kind of have the recommended feed be like content creators that you already maybe probably would watch from someone that you already dedicated time to watching, if that makes sense. So now they're going to work on an algorithm, and it's like, what the hell? I mean, cool, it's awesome, but is that going to really take Rumble over the top? I don't know, because Rumble needs something a little bit besides political commentators, because then they did the whole the live TV broadcast format where you just have someone going after and after and after, So right now it's Savannah Hernandez. She's fun. I like her sometimes. She's cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
You have like Tim Pool. You have like Steven Crowder. Quartering is on with Melanie Melanie Big Mac. Fucking hell.
Facts.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what they want to do with their platform at this point after they get the algorithm made where it can basically help you find other content creators on there, because it's just so tilting. Like, God, I can't stand it. And like the CEO, he's like, well, creators on there can make money day one. You make like 3 cents or a penny. Guys, I make a single penny doing a 2-hour stream. Keep in mind, I'm not in this for money. I have a 9-to-5 already. I don't need any money from doing this. I do this for free because I just enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing it that much. I would do it for free. Guys, people know, I already made the YouTube partner program. We could be monetized right now. I'm not, because I literally couldn't give 2 flying fucks about getting money from doing this. I literally do not care about making money through this. But if you ever want to give me money, I don't care. I'm just telling you right now, I don't want it. You can keep your money. I don't give a fuck about that shit. What I'm saying is, yes, you can make money on Rumble right now, but a penny, really? That's going to entice people? A fucking penny? You could do 4 hours with the stream.
Let's see, how long have I been doing this? How long have I been in the streaming game? Let me look at my Rumble, because I started out in Rumble. I have to look at the legacy stats here. Let's see. Let's go back. All-time earnings for me on Rumble is $171.57, mostly due to Rumble rants. And let's see here. How far back can I go? All time. Let's go all time. So let's say the first time I ever streamed was August 19th of 2023. So that's how long it's taken me to make $171. I'm in it for the money. Coming up on, God damn, really was it 2 years? 2 years ago. I've been doing it for 2 years ish. There you go. It's a hobby, folks. We're not professionals.
Yeah, this is essentially just a hobby at the most part, and keep in mind, because I'll show you guys what Chris had said. Because this one guy, oh my goodness, and I hate people that will, I don't mind people getting, I don't know, favoritism from Rumble. I don't care about that. But there are people out there that have a decent following on Rumble that basically like say that everything that they do is good, and it's like, yeah, some things they do are good, some things are fine, but it's like, hey, if this platform isn't growing, they're obviously not doing everything good. It's like literally not even happening. I don't get it, honestly. So I'll show you guys this right now. Is your wife watching a TV show?
I don't know what the noise is.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'll make love to you in just a moment. A second here. I'll just scroll down some of these tweets. Trump's DOJ. Good God. Stable. Yeah, Rumble's talking about doing a bunch of Bitcoin stuff. It's like, this Bitcoin, is that really going to be getting people into freaking program, honestly? Is that really going to be changing anything? But before I find this tweet, I'll ask you, what books are you reading currently right now? Did you go to the comic shop this Wednesday?
No, I'll probably go next week when the next DC Sonic episode's out or issue is out. I was actually reading today. I was waiting to see when you'd get the stream up. Rolling Over Judge Dredd Control, recommended by Chuck Dixon a while back. Really, dude, it's funny. They make these like prestige format looking wider format, like magazine style, British comic books, but it's,
oh gosh. Well, I see he's muted there. Talk for a second. I'm watching Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Holy shit! Good job, Michael. What's going on, people? The man on man love. What's up, WZ? How you doing, man? Finally, Professor Savage Dad shaved the Mexican stash. They almost deported his ass. Oh God. Hi, boys. How you doing, Michael? How you doing, man? Our boy MSK has evolved yet again. The hat era is over. Now we in the static X hair arc. Holy crap. Emilio, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Yes, thank you for sharing Professor Savage Dad's YouTube channel link. Yes, also thank you for sharing his Rumble link as well. Let's see. Hi, Emily. How are you doing? Just taking it easy. Awesome. That's great. Goodness gracious.
there we go. Now I'm back. The children
You mean you're black?
over on the couch, but I could be, dependent on the AI I find. I'm working on. I actually have gained access to the Google video generator that everybody seems to be super bonered up over, but they limit you to like a couple videos a day, which is fucking asinine. But very good book. It's like a collection of the Judge Dredd stories that I think were published in 2000 AD. So they are it's kind of like a reprint, but of a particular set of stories at the time. Like, I don't think they were printed this way, because each one of them, like, you'll have like an intro to the next story, and you'll have an intro to another story. Let's see if I can find another one here. But you have kind of a consistent theme. It's like what was going on in Judge Dredd in 2000 AD, which is where every new story is published, is in that magazine in the UK. That's where Judge Dredd basically lives, is in those stories. So he is, every arc that they write for him is, written at a small chunk at a time, because it's in like this sci-fi magazine called 2000 AD. So you've got like a nice collected edition here, which these are actually hard to find. And it's just the Judge Dredd stories over a particular period. Let me see, do I have a 2000 AD here? Like, this is usually what it is. You get 2000 AD magazine, which I think is actually the same size as this, is it? Let me see. And these ones I actually just ordered straight up from the UK, because I'm not going to play a comic book shop to order this for me. If I want it, I'll just get it from there. So these are a little bigger actually. But like you'll go in here and it's an anthology magazine with just a bunch of different comics in it. You know, interesting art. Like it's really interesting. I like the way this is formatted. This is kind of how they do UK comic books. These or have done them for a while. Is it's just different, and it's a different anthology every issue of 2000 AD. There are some regularly occurring stories in it, but sometimes when those stories leave, they bring in a new creative team and they do a new story. It's actually really cool. I like it. Like I don't know if I like it enough to pay to have it shipped all the time, but it's all right.
Yeah.
And, you know, UK interests are not exactly quite as interesting. Some of the things they write about are kind of woke and annoying, and I'm not interested in it because that's just who's writing it. But Judge Dredd is Judge Dredd, and thankfully they haven't made him gay or anything else yet. He's just Judge Dredd. It's good shit. So that's what I've been reading there. The other thing I'm trying to finish reading is Justice League the Nail that I picked up in Vegas, the original Prestige format miniseries. That's what's kind of on the docket for me to hopefully finish before the weekend or before the week is out. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow.
Yeah. On Saturday, I'm going to get this week's episode of Comic Book Market Watch recorded. I just finished last week's episode. So many collected editions have been coming out. Like the next few weeks coming up, there's not going to be as many coming out.
They're realizing that this is where their bread is currently going to be buttered. It's being buttered by collected editions. No.
Dang it.
But yeah, this is where the money is coming from for them. This is what they need to do to maintain even relevance, let alone cash flow, is to just constantly be putting stuff out via, putting stuff out.
But dude, why can't you go on support Comicsgate, support your indie comic book creators out there? Can't you fund their lifestyles with your money? Isn't that not the rules?
No,
so,
I think I won't even do that a little bit.
here's the tweet from Chris. So this is Rumble
Chris.
CEO. Give me one sec. Let me make this bigger. I'll probably have these on 175 moving forward because I have a wider screen, and girls have always said bigger is better when it comes to me. So
you mean Chris, you have a whiter screen?
Yeah, true. Yes, finally, people are starting to get it.
The widest screen.
Chris I hate his last name. Good Lord. Chris Pavlovsky. We are adding a new requirement to the creator program. Number of unique chatters. The program is proving to be a real success for creators that have an engaged audience. Here's the key. The more success the program has, the larger the payouts will be for all creators. Creators that provide low engagement on Rumble take away from the pool of creators that do an awesome job. The new requirement helps drive creators and the creator program towards success. This is so fucking tone deaf. This is so tone deaf. First of all, this completely has a lack of understanding how people interact with, like, let's say, content like this. So, just for the record, I could have like 10 people watching on YouTube right now. 3 of them might chat in the actual chat. The rest of them might just be listening to us talk. That's how it works. Just because someone
That's how so many people work. That doesn't make any sense. Like, people don't actually, like, you have so many people even on YouTube that that lurk. It's actually the majority of the people watching your show are lurking. That's kind of a well-known thing too with YouTube, is that most of the people who are watching your show are lurking. They're not actually engaging with the stream via chat or anything.
That's the thing, is if you're listening to someone's show, you're just listening to it like, when you're like driving home, you're putting it like on a second monitor, listening to it. And I don't get this idea, and I don't actually subscribe to this notion at all, that just because you have not that many people engaging with your stream that means that you're not providing any value. Like, like, I don't people understand the average person that actually interacts on live chats is not what you think it is. So like the reason why it's easier for someone to comment on a video is because that's a lot more easier of content to digest.
Yeah.
That makes you want to actually comment. On a stream, it's very long form, and people commenting in the live chat is something that the average person only really does when they actually like they know the creator enough to the point where they want to ask them something. Or there's times where random people will stumble across your stream and they'll just, say, hey, what's up and all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
Why is that a stream that might have 50 viewers and 20 people chatting more valuable than a person that's doing the exact same thing versus, having potentially like 20 viewers, but they only have like 2 people chatting? Why does the other one have more value? They both are providing value. Keep in mind, the value here, guys, is sitting in a damn chair talking to another human being like this, or you're playing a game. There's no value we're creating other than, I don't know, I just entertain you for like a couple hours or some shit max, Like I don't know what the fuck is supposed to mean. Like creators that provide low engagement on Rumble's going to constantly have low engagement. There's nothing there. Rumble will have low engagement unless you're like insert big political commentator person or Dr. Disrespect. Wasn't Dr. Disrespect supposed to like, bring more eyes on Rumble? That's not worked.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I thought.
What do you think, man?
Yeah, I don't think Dr. Disrespect was going to do that. And if they thought that, they were wrong. Dr. Disrespect was on the decline anyways.
Yeah, they
his
went and
dumbass went out and fucked himself, and you know what? It's like, bro, why did they? Now, if they would have used him as a consultant and said, hey, you can stream on here and whatever, but we're really just here to like understand how we can make this platform better for gamers, that would be useful. I guarantee you all he does is run his shit through OBS and dump it into Rumble Studio, because he doesn't do multi-streaming with other people and shit. He just does his game streams. And whoever's still with him, that's all it is, man. He isn't going to see growth. He isn't going to get big. His time is kind of done. He's epic meal time at this point. He's just there.
Yeah.
It isn't bringing anything bigger or newer to the platform. I think that's already kind of, past for him.
Yeah. Like, even when they added in Dr. Disrespect, he was already coming on a downward trend after he basically admitted to inappropriately talking to a minor, and people had to rationalize.
Now. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Like, he had already came into Rumble at a low point. He had admitted that he had talked inappropriately to a minor. People had made up that she was 18 or 17, even though that still wouldn't be okay either way. Even if that were true, out still wouldn't be okay. That would still be disgusting. And they brought him over, and he's done nothing. They just gave him the bag for essentially no reason. He's not brought more eyes to Rumble gaming. People don't go to Rumble for gaming. They go to Rumble to hear their, I don't know, a political commentator go off like, unhinged, essentially, like, I don't know. So fucking stupid. I hate things
I didn't
like
see
this.
the point to it. I thought it was stupid. It's like, why are we bothering with this? Why are we spending time on this? What the fuck does this even matter? And I don't know. I don't have any sort of good answer for that. I just think that's it is what it is,
Yeah. And then I'm going to show you guys something that ended up happening for Comicsgate, another failed Comicsgate campaign. So
isn't that just all they do anymore?
Did you see this today from Student of God? This is
I saw a few things from him. Which one?
This
I gotta
is
see which one you're
insane.
on here.
This is actually insane right here.
Wait, what was this one? Is this the new CG comment shit? No. They put it here. Another failed CG campaign. CG King Rob mismanaged time and resources over 30K project, saving Death Raider. So this guy's basically begging for money because he spent all the money on hookers and blow. Let's face it, this is a CG. He's a CG king. I don't even know who the fuck he is. So, yeah, that's pretty fucking weird. I don't know, dude.
Like Rob Hunter, I've heard of him. I was at one point gonna have him on the MSK show for a one-on-one because he had actually worked in the mainstream. He had worked on Batman, he had worked on Justice League, and I think he worked on Superman. So, Student of God posted this tweet, said another failed CG campaign. CG King Rob mismanaged time and resources over 30K project. So this is going to make you guys absolutely lose your shit. This is ridiculous right here. So, and then I actually went to the actual Indiegogo campaign page he has, and then there's something really odd going on. So I'll read this first, and then
It's a
I'm going to
Ponzi
show you
scheme
guys.
usually.
Once I show you
Let's see it.
guys
Read
the
it.
comments, once I show you guys what he had put out on his Indiegogo page, I don't know if this person is even telling the truth anymore. Like that, like I don't know. But we'll go over right now. So this is Rob Hunter, June 12th, 2025, 1 p.m. Saving the Death Raider comic. Death Raider comic was such a financial disaster. I pissed away my savings and 3 years of my life. I could have been doing anything else. Crowdfunding is nearly dead. My peers' campaign totals drop with every new release. I have left comic books for good and now have a very low paying job in manufacturing, which is still higher than was my livelihood, crowdfunding, which was below the poverty line. Why should you care? The point of crowdfunding, in theory, is it covers my bills while I work and promote the project. That's just not true. That's just a lie. That is whoever told Rob that is a fucking liar. A complete fucking liar. This never happened. It was my savings and freelance work that carried Death Raider through the campaign. Yet I still want to deliver to the few fans that supported this amazing project. Where does this leave the book? Either I come to some sort of compromise with my debtors and the book ships in the fall of 2025, or it's bankruptcy and the printing and shipping funds are confiscated. So it's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot to unpack there. Holy crap. So, good God. I don't even know where to start here, honestly. Okay, so I don't know if you guys actually know this because I've actually interviewed plenty of indie comic book creators who had to like crowdfund. I don't know if you guys actually know this. Most of them don't make money doing this. Vaughn doesn't make money doing this. Mugen Lord doesn't make money doing this. John's Long Box doesn't make money doing this. Okay. Godfo,
dude, like some of these
you guys know him. Godfo doesn't make money doing this. Where did this theory ever come
guys
from?
like John, guys like John are getting recognition from like big time fucking not just like art like millionaire creators who've done great shit. Like John is talking to and getting recognition from dudes like fucking Mark Millar and shit, and John Romita Jr. of all fucking people. Like, dude, those guys are legit. The CG shit, like, you know, Mark Millar throws Ethan a bone the other day, telling him he was a great superhero artist, and I think both you and I have said a million times we can't take that from him. He was, and the stuff that he did, he was good.
Was really good at one point. Yeah,
at one point it was really good. But that was a bygone era. But like you see all of these guys in CG, nobody recognizes them. Nobody knows what they are. Nobody cares. Nobody's even paying attention. Like you've got real people out there like John, who is a real person, but he's a real fan. He's really into this. Like he gets it. And you got guys like Vaughn out there who are going comic book store to comic book store, hustling to move their book, not just trying to go on a live stream and sell it, because that isn't going to be successful. And he realized that. And that's the thing, though. If you're really going to be real about this, if you're really going to do it, if you're really going to be successful in this, you want to be a comic book creative, that's what you got to do. Hawking shit on Indiegogo is that. It's only that, and it's never become more than that. That's all it is. Even real creatives don't hawk shit on Indiegogo. Like, they go off to freaking Kickstarter at the very least. Like, Mark Millar moved his shit over to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And I think that book is doing well. It looks good. I ordered it. I wanted the fucking magazine
But
edition. It
remember,
looked great.
they can't go to Kickstarter because Ethan said if you go to Kickstarter, you can, but I won't promote you, which is like,
Yeah, exactly. Because Kickstarter has actual rules around this shit. Indiegogo is the slums of crowdfunding. Indiegogo is why crowdfunds everywhere will die. Indiegogo's platform may stick around for some other things, but comic books are going to die off there because fans aren't going to go to Indiegogo campaigns.
yeah.
I don't, unless I like personally know the person doing it, I don't trust an Indiegogo anymore. I just won't. You're not going
Yeah.
to get your shit.
I
And you're
think the
just paying
last
for
time
these
that I
guys.
backed a book on Indiegogo was I backed Vaughn's Phenomenova book. That was the last thing I backed
Yeah,
on Indiegogo.
and I think the last time I picked up Phenomenova, I got it on Fund My Comic, I think. So
yeah. So
even Cecil had to go there.
well, there's a lot to just digest here before I actually show you guys how weird the situation actually is. Because I've seen this
Dude, that's
person.
just listening to that shit.
Because I've seen this person on
sad.
Twitter. I'm not saying this is a bad person necessarily, but I do find something very odd with the situation when I actually show you the actual Indiegogo page. But we're gonna digest these first. So this is the first thing right here, where he says, "My peers' campaign totals drop with every new release." Yeah, because Comicsgate isn't as, let's say, popular as it once was.
Nope.
And Student of God has pointed this out a lot of times too. Someone would launch a campaign 2020, 2021, or whatever, right? And they launch another one, then it just doesn't do as well. But I thought a lot of these guys, like, I mean, Shane included, Shane Davis, that fucking worthless piece of shit. I thought these guys were ridiculing Eric July when they said, oh, your other campaign didn't do as well as your first one. I don't know why creatives like Rob don't understand this. Comic books do not work like movies. There's a bunch of people that will check out the very first issue. There's not as many people that are going to check out the second issue. You have to create a consistent line of readers from when they check out issue 1 all the way to wherever your series is going to go. That's how it is. You're going to lose a lot of people from issue 1 to issue 2. It's just how it is. That's how comics have always been. No one's ever really been able to fix it because it's just how it is. People have just accepted at this point. This is how it works. So that wasn't just an Eric July thing. That's a comic book thing in general. The other thing, to go over is this one right here that really took everyone by surprise, which was the point of crowdfunding in theory is it covers my bills while I work and promote the project. No. The point of the funds is to make the book itself because you need help making said book. It's not to support your lifestyle. Whoever told him this is
who told him this. You know exactly who sold this shit to him, because as we've said this a million times before, this is what Ethan tells these idiots. And most of them are broke asses anyways. I assume Katie lives in a fucking trailer.
Oh,
and Mandy Summers probably has a single fucking a one-bedroom apartment somewhere in the fucking slums somewhere where she two-finger inserts on the side for extra cash. Because did she even make enough? I mean, fuck, dude. I was in my fucking 30s when I made as much in a year as some of these books make in their campaigns. That ain't enough to fund shit because you still got to pay taxes on that shit, motherfuckers. Uncle Sam coming for it. You get your 30 or 40K on it. Like, if you're expecting to live off that, you're a fucking retard. Period. You're completely fucking retarded. And if you're that retarded, I don't believe that your book's going to be any good either. You're too stupid to actually live, like, financially. You're too stupid to write a comic book that anybody's going to find interesting. And them's the facts.
Yeah. And then the other thing to bring up with this is the fact that he generally thought that having 30K would have been enough to live off of. Guys, that's like a little bit above poverty level. So like poverty level is 25K. That's everywhere in the States. 25K.
I don't even know where the fuck
level.
you could live for that, dude. You're living on the streets for that. You don't have an apartment.
You would be on like Section 8 housing to live off that.
Yeah,
you'd have to be.
You have to be fucking something worse.
And what's crazy? They got so mad at Eric July for saying that the average comic book artist or writer is incompetent at actually knowing how business works. I remember that was one of the things that they got so mad about. It's like, What does he know? I know how business works. I've been doing comics for 30 years. You've been doing comic book art for 30 years. You've been running a business for 30 years. That right there should automatically tell you that these guys were already fucking stupid because they're
you know who has been doing it. You know who does understand it? The guys who have been working. Todd McFarlane, yes, but the guys who've been working in the comic book industry for decades, they get it because otherwise they'd be broke. The ones who wash out after a couple years of doing it, they didn't understand how to run their own lives on the money they were making, let alone a business.
Mm-hmm.
But you got guys out like Mark Millar. Guarantee you, he knows how to run a business well enough.
Yeah.
He turned his whole fucking brand into something.
Even Gabe El
everything else, dude.
When Gabe El Said was working for DC, he found a way to make it work off what he was making. He only made like $7K more than this guy does because Gabe said he only made like 37K when working for DC. Gabe made that work. He made that work while being you could say underpaid because these guys are getting scammed for their work essentially anyway. Like already when they said that them working in comic books, they already knew how the business worked. I already was like the listening comprehension in these guys was already thrown out the window for me. Eric July had mentioned that just because you work in comics doesn't mean you know how to run business. And they thought that what he was saying is that they know how to make comic books. It's like, no, this is why comic book artists are weird, stupid people. They do not go outside. They do not have conversations. So their listening comprehension is to the literal toilet.
Yeah.
They probably have 8th grade listening They basically probably have like 8th grade reading comprehension skills.
Yes. Artists are especially
weird,
like
smelly people.
Artists, like drawing artists, are very different kinds of people. I find that writers are actually really good listeners usually, though, because they tell a story. They're listening to a story. When you read, you're kind of listening to the story, spoken by your inner monologue. But but yeah, it's these guys aren't in the industry for a reason, because one, they already weren't like great enough to make it over the threshold to get into the industry. So what you've got is a bunch of miscellaneous people who think they're going to grift off of this, or they're going to be able to do something.
So I want to show you. I want to show you this.
I'll respect a hobbyist like Nick at Phoenix Press more than dudes like this that think this is going to pay for their life. Like guys who are doing this for the passion of it and the love of it, out of their own pocket, to maybe make enough to cover the cost of printing it and shipping it. Like, respect for that, guys. Like, fine with that. But like, if you think your whole lifestyle is going to get paid for, like, no, that's what happens when this is your job. The crowdfund doesn't make this your job, bro. And I'm sorry, but drawing one comic book over the course of how many years has it been since he did this? 3?
So this campaign launched in April 16th. So it ended April 16th, 2023. So this probably launched.
God damn.
It's been
he thought he was going to live for years off of, like, what the fuck? Like, what did he do? Like, it was only 30 grand. What did you do, guy? How did you get, like, what debt did you incur for this? How? Who did you put on your credit card to draw it for you? Like,
if that's
all
the case, look at all this. Look at all this stuff.
This is wild. So, did he draw the book? Is he drawing and writing this himself?
He drew the book, actually.
Okay, so he drew it. So he has somebody else writing it for him. I'm sorry, but it doesn't take you a year to draw that one book. It doesn't. Just fucking doesn't. Period.
I'm trying to find something here.
Comic book creatives can turn out a new book a month.
So this is where I get a little skeptical with this. So, okay, this update right here came out June 12th, 2025, okay? This update he made on this campaign came out April 1st, 2025. This update says, last update from printer. Unfortunately, there has been no update from my printer. I requested an update for the printing schedule for Death Raider issue number 1 a week ago. I still haven't heard from them. If I don't hear back from them soon, I'll have to cancel the print job and go elsewhere. I wish there was better information, but there isn't. But then a month later, he made another update saying he just has no money, or he's running into financial trouble to basically live. So he was going to print the book but then something came up to the point where now all of a sudden the book can't be printed. This is where I'm getting confused at.
This is where the final stage of his story comes in. They won't hear from him again probably much after this. He took the money and ran.
And look at this one. This one, January 21st, 2025. Death Reader #1 has gone to the printer. So this was his update for going to the printer. And then, so that's what, February, March, April. So 3 months. You get this update.
This is him setting the groundwork to be safe underneath the guidelines of Indiegogo's agreements legally. What he's doing is something that actually even the higher ups in Comicsgate don't actually bother to do. He has set a chain of events into action via the updates to say that he updated and this happened. At the end of the day, because of Indiegogo's guidelines that you agree to when you buy it, when you buy the book, he's trying to. This is CYA. But now that he's finally saying the book is done and I'm like, he's bullshitting. He took your 30 grand and he left with it.
Yeah.
He bought a used BMW and he got a blowjob from some $30
He's probably
whore.
Banking on the fact that you won't come here and read these updates, because if you read these updates, he said they're going to the printer. Everything.
Yeah. Well, that's why he said, that's why he said that's why that one with the problem with the printer. That's always a problem with the printer. Like, there's a script written by these Comicsgate fucks that you can follow the whole way through. And at the end of the day, they get to keep your money. That's why you shouldn't fund a comic for any one of these dipshits associated with this. He isn't going bankrupt. Nothing's happening. He ran away with the money. And that's his final, like, hey, everything went to shit. I have to file bankruptcy and blah, 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 blah.
So this is
don't
where
sue me.
So this is where you get even more skeptical. So he puts another update out. He says after holidays update, and he's talking about some other bullshit, right? But this is where the other nail in the coffin comes through. Look at this one. November 6, 2024. Closeout was a success, because in other comments, he said that this campaign didn't make enough money for him. But he says in this update, it was a success. He said, campaign has closed. A superstar designer buddy is taking a swing at the trading cards format, as well as the Death Raider logo. Expect a new title logo for Death Raider soon. Then the book heads to the printer. So he literally said the closeout was a success. Okay. So he had said in previous other comments here, or also that we've seen on here, that he said it wasn't a success, because if it was a success, he wouldn't have to make an update right here. So in my opinion, what Eric July said about these guys being financially retarded, illiterate is true. They don't know how to manage their money. They got called out for it. They got mad at him, and they were just projecting their own insecure business ways of doing this out there.
In all honesty, dude, I think this is just part of his grift. I think he got the 30 grand and it's all paid out. There ain't nothing left in Indiegogo to return. I do believe he's
probably in debt, but he needed this money to get out of debt, so he doesn't have to declare bankruptcy. See, he probably was in debt, but he needed this money
and he ran off. Yeah, and he to get out of that debt, he grifted people on a book.
So we'll look at the quote tweets first, because Tyler Draw and Talk had one. So I forget this guy's name sometimes. I think it's Alzamat. Meanwhile, there are those of us. Meanwhile, there are those of us breadcrumbs who make it happen. Yeah, there are people like Alzamat who make like 6K, 7K on a comic book campaign, and they still manage to get everyone's books out on time. Vaughn Coleman, the white guy you guys think looks like James, he made 10K on his first campaign. He made less than what Rob did, and the campaign's
still got it out. Not only that, but on his next campaign, he got that out within a year. Like, Vaughn is defying all of the Comicsgate bullshit.
The ghost Vaughn of Gramps Van Skydive. The ghost of Gramps Van Skydive. SS. Oh shit! Fuck. New CG is doing great.
No, dude, it's done. I don't know how.
Shit.
I don't
remember. Jimmy Ray's campaign failed too. Remember that?
Oh yeah. I don't even see more legitimate creators like Graham Nolan associating with the Comicsgate hashtag.
He always will. He always will. He sold his soul out a long time ago, dude.
Who, Graham?
Yeah,
no, Graham doesn't fucking care about this shit. Like
he knows what Ethan's
Graham,
doing, but he's okay with it because before Ethan ever came along, he had no one that really ever supported him. And then when he got into Comics Day, he got a bunch of support from the CG people. He's going to be there forever. He knows what's happening, but he just doesn't.
Yeah, but he doesn't like show up or do anything with it.
He's only no. You're right. He's only there to just clout chase to get the backers. That's it. He knows what he's doing.
I don't think he. I don't. In all honesty, I don't think he needs them to get backers, though. I don't.
Not anymore.
I don't think the people who are dealing with Graham Nolan or getting Graham Nolan stuff from Compass Comics need Ethan's audience or probably even wants it. Like,
but he knows he used Ethan to get an audience because before people know he wasn't like that popping as a creator on YouTube because he had left.
Well, but he went on like he's been on FNT and he's been on like with Gary and Az on different stuff. So like he's found an audience in other places, I think, too, and realized that it's probably more lucrative because Ethan's audience doesn't have money if they bought too much meth.
Absolutely absurd. Over 30K raised and complaining about being unable to complete and fulfill. I suggest this is a new level of incompetence, but there are even worse examples. Yeah, Jimmy Reyes ran off with the money and became a born-again Christian. Like, that's supposed to just, erase what had happened. Because, people just use, like, the whole Jesus grift to just basically, like, think that just makes everything better. Draw and Talk Tyler, See World says, he quoted what he said in the project. It's not what Tyler's saying. The point of crowdfunding in theory is to cover my bills while I work and promote the project. Is the most retarded thing I've read this week. These people are so fucking lazy and disrespectful to customers with no time management skills or really any good skills at all. Yeah, how disrespectful is that to your actual like backers that you yourself mismanaged all the money, mismanaged $30,000. You could make a lot of comic books in 30K if you actually, wrote down all of your cost for how many people you have on your team to get the book also not only made at the printer, but also shipping as well. 30K is more than enough for that because you know what Mugen Lord said? Mugen Lord made like 6K on his Vampire Orion's Killer book or whatever. He only made 6K. He said what ate the cost was shipping and printing. Now imagine Mugen Lord being able to fulfill that book on $6,000. Mugen Lord fulfilled this book on $6,000. You tell me Mugen Lord, a new guy in the space, can fulfill a campaign for $6,000, but Rob can't fill one for $30,000? If you can't fill a book at $30,000, you just need to. You might as well stayed working for Marvel and DC.
You're ripping. Well, what it is he's just ripping people off. That's all it was. He got the money and got out. And I don't think he'll be back. You know what will eventually happen though is Ethan will say, "I'm hiring Rob to help him out.
God.
Draw this book for me." Blah 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 for another book that will never come out. Like it's to the point that they've launched so much shit that people will never see that it's just gonna cascade. Like Rob said, less and less of his peers are getting any money out of it. Exactly, less and less of them are actually bothering to. Less and less people are actually bothering to fucking give them their money because they don't get anything out of it. So why fucking bother?
Yeah. In Rob's update on his Death Radar #1 campaign, he even said his peers are making less and less money. Yeah, because essentially Ethan turbo burned the entire movement for a lot of people. He had burnt like so many bridges with other people that it now ruins his other colleagues. It's like, when we say like when Marvel puts out a bad movie for the MCU, that it hurts the other ones that are coming out that might be good. That's what happens. When you do something bad, it actually has a negative effect on everything else after it. So everything that Ethan does, he doesn't believe this because he's retarded and fat and stupid, actually has an effect on his peers. His peers get affected by him, whether he chooses to believe that or not, because he's mentally deranged. He raised over 30K and couldn't make a 72-page book that was just art drawn over 3D and DAZ 3D models. Like, seriously, what the fuck is up with these creators? You thought you could spend that 30K on your life and then you'd have enough to magically print the book and ship it out. Seriously, the level of mental illness and retardation in the indie scene is crazy. Yeah, I agree. Yep, I agree with you fully, dude. I know. It's crazy. I mean, I know people don't like John Delarose, but like even John Delarose puts his books out on time. Isn't that crazy? Someone that Ethan despises puts out
I
his
know,
books
right?
on time.
Wild.
You know, John's got some insanely retarded things he says constantly, but he puts out his book. I can't really doubt the guys. He puts out his books on time. He does. I gotta give him credit for that.
I know, right? It's funny. I'm entertained by it. Like it's it's beyond the point that I think that they really intend to create books at all anymore.
Yeah,
I think they just intend to get money,
and they know the money's drying up. They know the money's drying up. The money is drying up. I'm sorry, like there's gonna be only like a few people in the top of the Comicsgate Kangs that are gonna actually have any line of money coming in. Very few people. What is right here? Danny Corbin said, I remember this dude. He was always the first one kicked off CG King so Mike Barron could come on and take a nap on cam for an hour. Kind of sucks. He seemed like a nice guy. Yeah, well, Mike Barron is currently going to be doing a Nexus omnibus. That raised a lot of money, so hopefully that'll come out. But I know Mike Barron, Mike Barron unfollowed me after I made that Asian tweet against Yancey because people have to know he is married to an Asian lady. But it's all good. It's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. Mindy says, whatever you crowdfund, the money you make is supposed to be solely invested in the development of the project alone, not paying your bills. What a fucking idiot. Not surprised coming from another CG guy, right? Brian says, wow, over 30K. That is unreal and maddening for guys like myself and several friends, I'm sure, who complete our books before launch, use crowdfunding to cover printing and shipping costs, and do our best to fulfill as quickly and efficiently as we can manage. Yet many of our campaigns struggle to reach the 10K mark. Nobody ever said life was fair, I guess, but geez, that's frustrating. Yeah, it feels like all the people getting like over 10K on their comic book campaigns on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, I don't know. Like, it always kind of feels like they're the ones that are always kind of making it worse for other people that are getting less money than that. It's Comicsgate, bad reputation, bad title. Death Rider sounds like a lazy Star Wars ripoff. What else is here? This is unfortunate. I think Rob got the wrong idea / bad advice. 8 out of 10 members of New CG prefer Disney Star Wars over Star Wars. Oh my God. Jeez. I backed Death Raider and now regret it. He's giving crowdfunding a bad rep. I backed that book. It was the last New CG book I backed by accident. I didn't know he was associating with those fucks. If I had known, I would have avoided it. He was a king. I'm sure Thybert had a what the fuck thought or two. Fuck CG and even. Good Lord. There is this guy on what the heck? Crowdfunding covering the bills. This is why I stopped backing these guys. This just sounds like a series of bad financial decisions, and now he is in a bad spot, and the backers will likely get nothing. Yeah, because there was a few comments under his campaign basically saying, hey, I'll just take a PDF file of the book. It's like, what about the people that wanted people back that for a physical book to get? They didn't back that for a digital. I mean, there's people out there that don't even read the physical books they have now that they got from crowdfunds. People aren't opening up the crowdfund books they have now. You think they're gonna read a digital copy? Are you fucking mind?
No, that's what that's what Ethan tells them.
But dude,
that's what Ethan did.
All these guys got mad at Eric July. You remember, like back in 2023 when Eric
they got mad at him because he literally called their fucking bluff on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, you guys are full of shit. You're not putting anything out. No one gets shit from you guys.
Remember when Shane Davis had a live stream and he said, well, I can make you a hot and ready comic right now, but it's going to take me some time to make something way more quality than that. No one talks about Shane's fucking books. Shane Davis is a fucking loser. No one talks about that guy's book.
Yeah, his time to make quality books is still not. I
don't know. When do they start?
He hasn't. Yeah, exactly. How much time exactly is it going to take before they're quality? Because nobody seems to fucking give two shits about them. And didn't Anna basically shit all over Shane's book? Like, that was fucking funny.
She did review Ethan and Shane's books, but
yeah,
I feel like, she would never admit this because she's a moron herself sometimes. She probably got night letters after reviewing their books. That's why she didn't do it anymore.
Oh, I guarantee you she did, because she doesn't like her association with Ethan is done. I mean, who pays attention to that Star Wars girl? Anyway, what I don't even think she does she even count much anymore? She's no different than like us, like other than she's got big tits and doesn't have to work, so she works out all day and springs back into a great body after having a child. Like she looks good, and that's her whole thing. But like I don't even know what else she does anymore, other than stream with those guys with John and shit. Because like, no one has her on. No one's talking to her. She's not doing.
She does
interviews. She's not
Landing Party. She does the show with Graham Nolan. I know that. And she does.
Oh really?
Jack's show.
Yeah, that's right. Graham has.
Those are only two shows that I know she's on. I don't watch her.
Yeah,
but,
and Graham's show is that's a Star Trek show, which is like cool. That's fine. But I don't think she's on it all the time. And that may be the one nerd thing she actually knows, but like she's faded away. She might as well be Nina Infinity at this point.
All right. The other thing I wanted to bring up, was that these guys were so like these guys went insane over when Eric said there's a bunch of people in crowdfunding that misuse the funds and then just kind of want to lead a life of leisure off of other people's money instead of actually getting the book done and getting the work done. Like, I can't believe that was even like, I was like, you can disagree with what Eric says sometimes, because obviously that's how human life is. But what he said wasn't even wrong. Like, we had seen it with our own eyes that it happened, Then the other thing to bring up with that is basically, if so, like, I don't know if you understand, some of these mainstream guys that, they're not that, these aren't like smart people. These people work for a corporation like all of us do. These aren't like fucking geniuses, They're a genius when it comes to like creating something as far as a craft, but these aren't like masterminds of everything. Keep in mind, I would also like to add in that there's editors at these companies too. Who knows? Maybe a lot of those ideas that Jeff Johns and Ethan came up with were editors that told them to do that stuff. You would never know because all we saw was the finished product. All we saw was the literal finished product. We don't know the creation of it.
You know that a bit of it was, and maybe back in their day it wasn't that bad at DC, but in places. But like editorial started writing roughshod over a lot of comics a while ago. I mean, look at a lot of the look at like the downfall even of like Marvel comics and quality and everything else, and that's primarily because the freaking the editorial rode roughshod over everything that was being done there, like every edict. And even now you see it. You see the editorial people, that guy that came out from Spider-Man and said that, people think they want Mary Jane and Spider-Man together, but they don't really want that. It's like, dude, you're retarded. And that's the editor, dude. That had nothing to do with the writer, but that editor said point blank.
Like J. Michael Straczynski.
That shows you.
With Michael Straczynski gets blamed for One More Day when it was literally Joe Quesada that actually wanted him to do that. Now, yes, J. Michael Straczynski should have just said, "I'm not doing it." But if you got to pay bills, like, fuck, I understand, I get it, and we know comic books don't pay a lot of money. So like, Joe Quesada was the person that said, "Hey, I want to take away their marriage and shit like that." Like, this is the same guy who basically said, "Well, video games cost like $60, comic book costs $5. Why would someone not buy a comic book?"
You know what's really fucked about Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti is they're two fucking retarded dipshits that came in from indie comics that weren't even really that great. They're the same kind of fucking bullshit infection that brought Ethan Van Sciver into the mainstream comics. They should have done a better job of gatekeeping that shit, because both of those guys sucked a fat dick.
Oh, Jimmy
what they should have done it.
Guy worked on Injustice and Harley Quinn. I had him on the Iron Man podcast. I mean, he is a raging liberal.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, but him and Quesada were the ones at Marvel who they brought in because they thought there were some golden boys, because they worked on some book called Ash or some shit that nobody ever read and nobody fucking remembers at all. And while Quesada's art was fantastic, I don't see him as any different than fucking Ethan Van Sciver. He was a drain on the industry. If anything, for Marvel, he was worse. Like, Quesada's effect on Marvel was worse than Van Sciver's effect on DC, because Van Sciver never turned shit in. Quesada went there and legitimately fucking Marvel Knights might have been cool for 5 seconds and everything else, and that's what also got him even more popular there. Marvel Knights made them a bunch of money for 5 minutes, and then it vanished. It just turned into nothing and disappeared from the world because they didn't keep up what Marvel Knights was meant to do. But Katseda, when he took over, basically reigned over one of the worst eras of Marvel that I can remember. At least by the time it was over, he had wrecked that fucking place so fucking bad.
And now we're just stuck with Tom Brevoort.
Is it Tom Brevoort that's over it? I thought it was
Tom Brevoort runs the X-Men line.
Fucking,
Steve Cebulski's the editor, the head editor in chief.
Yeah, well, that's what Katseda was editor in chief, and he was so bad that they brought in a fucking retarded fake fucking Asian weeb dipshit that never did anything. Like I remember when they brought him in, and everybody was like, "Who the fuck is that? Who is he? He's an ideologue that has turned Marvel into an even." Like you thought what Katseda did made a mess out of some characters. CB Cebulski, whatever the fuck his name is, he destroyed it. He has all but salted the earth with Marvel Comics quality at this point, and it's done. It's dead as far as I'm concerned. The MCU is dead. Marvel Comics are also dead. They're just shit. There's no point in buying them. DC, they've pulled out an interesting thing or two out of their butthole recently. The Batman Santa thing was fun. You know, I'll admit that wholeheartedly, but that's kind of like it. There ain't really much going on at DC, you know, but yeah, DC shot themselves in the foot as far as I was concerned with New 52 quite a while ago when I dropped off, and I haven't really come back. And
it's so weird
shit they did with Superman.
How now people look at that. So like I was in high school when they started that, when that officially started back in like 2012. It's so weird when you think about the concept of it, because it's the same concept that I brought up with like G.I. Joe Retaliation, where like the concept of G.I. Joe is to have a big group of people, and then you have a movie that basically like, we're gonna kill them all off. You can only just have 3, and it's like that's retarded. New 52 basically was like that. It said every single thing that if you had been a comic book fan since the 70s or 80s, DC basically went, hey, I know you probably invested in a lot of years of our fucking work. None of that matters. This is the brand new universe because we want to start over. It's like, what? Yeah,
well, this is the thing, dude. They
failed. That happened is ridiculous.
They failed so hard in their effort to mimic Ultimate Marvel that they said, "Oh, fuck it, why don't we just restart the whole universe?"
If it was basically an Ultimate Universe for them, because they always wanted to do an Ultimate,
it would have been better. In all honesty, some of it would have played as an Ultimate Universe, because that's what they basically did. Is they went in and they tried to make an Ultimate Universe. Yeah, and it's like, why don't you just fucking why didn't you do it this way in the first place? They had
Rebirth. Rebirth came up that kind of brought a lot of people back, but then they just randomly stopped it because
they randomly stopped it. They made a mess out of it. They did all this fucking shit with the Watchmen. Remember that they molested.
Yeah,
they freaking had
Heroes in Crisis.
Superman's son
remember that with Tom King? The Heroes in Crisis story with Tom King. Oh, good lord. So Geeky Borders had said if Creepy Van Driver had any respect for Comicsgate, he would start a stream right now to address the crisis with Rob Hunter. Yeah, because Ethan pushed Rob a lot. This is a CG king, someone that Ethan told people to back, going bankrupt. Hundreds of people may never get the books they paid for. Where is the transparency? Yeah, but Ethan has always said, hey, you're just basically funding my idea of the book. That's not how anyone that says you're just funding potentially to get the book made, that's not how that works. You're funding the book to get made so you can have it in your hands. That's the point. You know, no one's getting money.
Unfortunately, in some cases,
no one's getting money from these things. No one's just giving you free money just because. They're giving you money in hopes of getting something. You're not funding an idea. The idea and keep in mind, they got mad at Eric for basically taking pre-orders, which is essentially what this is anyway. Because essentially you have the book done, and you just kind of measure and guess how many books you need to ship out, which is a much more effective way if you already have the book done. I get it's more money up front, but you can already show people, hey, my book is done.
Yeah.
You're not.
Well, what's worse? Not spending the money and not getting the book, or spending the money and then still not getting the book.
Love that quality. Look at that quality. $40 for that.
From Jean, dude, I paid $50 for this.
Mike Wheeler, I know people don't like Mike.
Shipping and the bullshit.
But Mike had said, crowdfunding isn't your job, you fucking retarded idiots. It's not other people's responsibility to pay your goddamn bills. It's your responsibility. If you can't determine how much money you need to complete the project and pay your bills, and you aren't responsible enough to set that goal, that's your fault. People like this should burn. No, I don't. I don't hate Mike at all. I like Mike enough. I get him and his wife get a lot of shit from people, but we've always had a pretty cool relationship. Mike isn't wrong here. People like this
pretty much
ruin the entire scene. They ruin the and people wonder why crowdfunding has a bad name with people like that. That's ridiculous. It's actually insane to think about.
Yep.
And then Ethan will never address it. I mean, he addressed Jimmy Reyes, but he won't be. I mean, if he addressed this, I would be shocked to see. Honestly,
people should flood his chat and his fucking X account with this post. Just everybody needs to start tagging EVS in that post.
Oh God!
Make him see it. Make him say something. He'll run from it like the little bat bitch that he is.
Oh God! Here's one person coping out of their fucking minds with this shit. Look at this. Hellhound, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you here in a long time, dude.
What's up, Hellhound, dude? Hope family's
got a girl.
Doing good, bro.
He got his girlfriend. He had a daughter, and he just basically left me like my dad.
He did.
She has to be 1 year old by now. She has to be one. Has to be. You've been gone for like a year, so if she's not one.
Hope you were enjoying fatherhood, sir.
So this person named Skullface had said, wasn't Death Raider a solo project by Rob? Does it matter? That doesn't matter at all. If so, he's partially right. He's not right. He scammed people. He's not right about anything. The money is finance himself and produce a comic. No. What? No. You're using cognitive dissonance. No. There's a bunch of people doing this that don't pay themselves. Okay? People are going to go, but you don't pay yourself while doing this? Well, I mean, if you make enough money, you can. It's possible. But that's why people always said comic books don't make a lot of money. You're only kind of doing this because you really, really like it. There's no gravy train here.
Yeah, this isn't the fucking 90s, y'all. Nobody's reselling this shit on eBay for a profit. You're fucking retarded if you think you are.
Tyler says, no, he's 100% wrong. The funds aren't to finance himself. It's to produce the book and allocate funds properly so his backers get the book. He failed. Then Skullface replied, if he's an owner and a producer of the comic, he does need to pay himself. If you make enough money. Because he said it was a success. So he did pay himself. He said it was a success. I'd imagine in 30K, he took out some money for himself. There's no way he didn't. So I'd imagine he did. But that's not. The money for the book is to produce the book. It's not to finance your lifestyle. Of course, he mentions he's working below poverty wages because after he puts money aside for printing and shipping, there isn't much left for him to keep. Yeah, no shit. Welcome to making comic books. Thank you, Captain Sherlock.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
No, 30K isn't going to replace a day job. Yes, that's why people told him, whoever told you that, are retards. I mean, he should know that too. Rob is like a 56-year-old man. Why would he not know that? Rob is literally almost 60.
What has he been doing since he left Marvel Comics? Shit.
Maybe blowing Ethan under a fucking table.
Something.
Mugen Lord said, bro, I didn't pay myself a dime of what was left of my pre-order campaign. Yeah. In fact, money is supposed to be reinvested into your next book. There is no payday until your campaigns make enough that it pays your other books while having something left over you can pay yourself. Your first campaign shouldn't be to pay yourself in the first place unless you made a miracle amount of over 100K or something. Some of these creators are in the indie space for the wrong reasons. Yeah, people saw a couple of creators get a lot of money, so they thought, oh, if I did it, I can get a lot of money out of this. This is not ever to comic books, guys, cannot replace your regular 9-to-5s. Even Scott Snyder, someone who's definitely well more known than and more talented than Ethan will ever be, Scott Snyder, said that even when he got into comic books, he initially thought he wasn't going to be able to make a living off it. He went in knowing, hey, I'm probably not going to do this for a living. Scott Snyder, who's I like the guy, but he's a pretty hard-leaning liberal leftist guy. But I like Scott. He writes some great books. But if Scott Snyder was saying you can't make money doing this, then I don't know why you guys thought you could make money doing this. You do this because you just like doing it. That's just what it is, But that's pretty much it. Had to just go over this because this was just completely ridiculous.
That is the way.
Yeah. So, as you guys know, moving forward, we're probably going to end up having our show on a weekend day, either Saturday or Sunday. We'll have to kind of figure out which day works better. Mostly shooting for Saturday because when the season starts for League, then I have to dedicate that Saturday time slot to the Cloud9 podcast. But if we do it around 8:30 or 9, then we could make it work too. So we're just going to pick a day between Saturday and Sunday. Hellhound says Hamburger Helper is garbage. So is EVS. EVS is trying to pick a side because he doesn't know where their most money will come from. I did leave you for a bit. Fig Van Skyver is starting his gay ops against Ricada to try to make a buck. Did you see the AI images he showed? Yeah, Ethan's a fucking moron. What an idiot.
I mean, dude, this is the thing. They're at the point now where they're going to start eating each other because there's nobody else left. Nobody to engage with. Nobody gives a shit.
You're saying that Ethan's going to eat out John Malin and Shane Davis? Like, eat them out, right?
Probably.
He's already fat enough. He would be able to eat them regardless. He's already big. Nothing's changed with that. He's still fat.
It's very true.
So it's like when I have sex with my wife, I actually put my dick all the way inside of her, because she can take that. But anything you want to let the audience know about that you're going to be working on, or any shows you're going to be on before you head out?
Let's see what I got. Rogues Gallery this Friday. I'll be on for a little bit. I might have to make a shorter exit than normal. What else do I have going on? I've got Make Me a Sandwich show that with Iron and Theo and Devil and everybody else. That's on Wednesdays, 7:30 Pacific time. What else do I have? Long boxing at some point. Another episode coming, and that may be where Lapsed and I hang out. So Lapsed Comic Fan
for that
and
to happen, but
will be collabing on some
didn't-
comic book discussions.
Yep, two
So
white
that'll be
guys,
happening.
two white married guys going black. That's how it'd be. Are you
I've
gonna
already
do those?
been there and back again.
Are you gonna do the conversations in your car when you're thinking about me?
Probably have a conversation tomorrow morning. Hopefully.
Yep.
Try to get up early and be out. So, yep. Look for me tomorrow morning on Conversation over on Rumble, where they live, because I can't multi-stream.
Do your stream
till I get Restream. I might be doing Restream or something. I don't know. Then I'm not going to get any Rumble credits.
Same.
Yeah, I'm going to I might move to that, and out of Rumble Studio. It's probably a relatively easy thing for me to do.
Because they keep saying they're fixing Rumble Studio, but Rumble Studio is just bad.
Until they fix that fucking side-by-side 9:16 aspect ratio.
Don't streams just randomly crash at like 2 hours?
I don't know. There can be lag problems. I have seen that. Like I was watching Crowder this morning in his long stream yesterday at 4 hours. It definitely started to have some issues. And as somebody who's run like a 12-hour stream of 3D printing on Rumble Studio, yeah, you can run into some issues. The stream can fail, other shit can go on. So if you're going for a very long time, yeah, if you're like, for me, I do a computer convo for like maybe 30 minutes and then I'm out. So it's pretty tight. I don't worry about it. It doesn't fuck up on me on my phone. But
so when are you gonna make some hot, sweet gay love to me?
Probably never.
Good, because I am a flaming heterosexual. So, with that being said, tomorrow we're gonna have me and Lunchbox Warren's show. We're gonna have a guest on, actually, and Friday. No, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. Let me completely bang my wife out. Hold up. I'm joking.
Wait a minute.
So, moving forward, everyone, something is not black. Get it? Right?
They're doing great!
Joking. So, okay. Friday, 7 p.m. PST, I'm going to have another episode of the MSK show with me and Lunchbox Warren. We're going to have a guest on. It's going to be a girl this time around. She's going to be on.
A woman.
A woman, actually. It's going to be a girl from Rumble, because I will say this.
Who?
Rumble creators are definitely people that will collab with you a little bit more easier than YouTube content creators. Now, I've ran into some of them that will be like you'll comment under their videos, you like DM them, but they never answer back. But it's always a hit or miss. But yes, 7 p.m. PST, the MSK show. Me and Lunchbox Warren, we're gonna have a show that we always do on Friday. We're gonna have a guest on Saturday, league stream after I get home from work around, I don't know, 8, 9 p.m. PST. I will be also recording this week's episode for Comic Book Market Watch. I already finished last week's episode. That should be out basically tomorrow around noon. Sunday, league stream, because this Sunday, you know, why you guys don't moving forward, you know, Sundays, I'm gonna probably just end up banging my wife. But yes, expect 2 league streams.
Good idea.
Expect league streams Sunday and in Monday and in my butthole. I can't take this seriously. Why am I crazy? No. Saturday, Sunday, league stream. And that's it, essentially. So MSK show Friday, 2 league streams for Saturday and Sunday. And next week, we're going to have to decide on a day to do the show.
We'll get it figured out.
Yep. And then he's going to give me all of his comic books in his collection. He's going to just give them to me because he owes me reparations.
So you can make a bet out of them?
Yes. And then I can make the pages crusty.
Ugh.
Just imagine.
It's like most of your comic books already.
This is why I don't envy Ethan's wife. She has to wash his underwear. Just imagine the crust.
That's some rough shit for sure. That's definitely.
Just imagine the crust on those.
Easy to go by for sure.
Could you imagine cleaning the toilet that Ethan took a shit in? Could you imagine his socks? Imagine washing Ethan's socks. Imagine like his wife uses. Imagine Ethan uses a bar of soap and shoves it up his ass. Imagine his wife going in that same bathroom and using that soap on her face. Imagine if John Malin used the same soap that Ethan shoved up his ass on his body.
It's very, very interesting closing thoughts from MSK.
I couldn't imagine. Because he said she's a housewife. Imagine a housewife having to look at Ethan's drawers. Some shit's just got booty, shit stains, crusty socks. Oh, fuck.
No, gross. Thank you. No. You have to close the stream out on that one, man. It's all dead now. It's just bad. It's just cursed. This is all cursed.
So, yeah, speaking of Ethan's crusty socks and underwear, could you imagine him thrusting into his wife?
No, it's so cursed. It's so cursed now. The stream's got to end now. It's too cursed. Everything's cursed.
She has to do reverse cowgirl. He can't thrust. That guy can barely move. So, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. We're going to see you guys later. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you guys later.
Peace.